Hello everybody! Hope you're all safe and well. Good morning from a slightly chilly Orlando. It is currently 10 past 8 in the morning, and if I'm honest, I could maybe do with a jumper or a light jumper at the moment. There's a bit of a cool breeze in the air. Today is meant to be 20 degrees Celsius and sunshine all day. At the moment it's apparently 16 degrees. It's not too bad, it's not terrible, but yeah, a bit of a strange feeling waking up and not feeling the heat. The last couple of days were sort of 27, 28 degrees, so at this point it was really warm. However, I'm sure it's still going to be a brilliant day, and I'm not going to let that spoil it in any way whatsoever. My night at the Dockside Inn and Suites at Endless Summer Resorts last night was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Lovely resort to stay at. I've just got up and left the hotel room. First of all, I'm going to nip across to Walgreens to buy some snacks, some American snacks to take home. The caramel M&Ms are always an absolute favourite with people back home, so I'm going to go and get a few bits in there to start the day. Later on, I'm going to make my way over to Universal Orlando Resort. Looking forward to that as always. Me back from Walgreens, M&Ms in hand and in the bag. Just going to quickly check out here, throw the luggage into luggage services and get along to Universal. As I was saying earlier, cannot recommend this hotel enough. For a value budget stay, it was absolutely on point. Just to remind you, with my annual pass discount, this cost me $93, which worked out approximately £73 sterling. Absolutely brilliant value for money. I'd highly recommend it, and I would definitely come back again, not a problem. Usually I would recommend the DoubleTree next to Universal for my kind of first recommendation when booking a hotel to visit the parks. However, this one might actually trump it. It was really good. Certainly on par, if not a little better. So that's me now safely in Universal Studios. I stopped there at today's cafe and got myself an egg sandwich. It was an egg white Florentine to be precise, and I went against my usual advice of getting water for free. I actually paid for a Coke today. All in all, it was $14.89, came in a little bowl of fruit. It was very tasty. It's about 10 o'clock now, and it's still a little chill in the air. The sun is coming out. Days like this in Orlando always tickle me a little bit, always amuse me a little bit. So it's 20 degrees, a little chill in the air, sun's coming out, still early in the morning, and if you lined everyone up next to each other and looked at what people are wearing, you wouldn't realise they are in the same place. Obviously everyone comes from different countries and different climates. I'm Scottish, now living in Northern Ireland, so I'm kind of used to the cold, so as you can imagine I am shorts and t-shirt. Feeling a little breeze and thinking maybe I could have done my light jumper, but obviously being optimistic, thinking it's going to warm up, I don't need the jumper. Whereas I've seen people in trousers, jeans, hoodies, puffer jackets. So as much as what this is the sunshine state of Florida, a tip for you guys is kind of bring appropriate clothing for the time of year. It's early February. There's every chance you could have some cold days or wet days. Just have the clothing to dress appropriately. Today's plan is just to take a little stroll around Universal Studios and then onto Islands of Adventure. I'm going to share my top tips with you all that will hopefully help you guys enjoy your trip to the maximum. I really fancy doing Men in Black again today, just to try and see if I can get any kind of a respectable score. It hasn't happened yet, but I do enjoy trying. God loves a tryer, eh? One of my favourite areas of the park is Central Park, which is just off the beaten track near the Simpsons Land. Very peaceful and quiet section of the park. I love to come here just to relax for 5 or 10 minutes, get away from the crowds. So a little top tip for you if you need a wee break. It's a peaceful little section of the park, just next to the water, sun in your face. What more could you ask for? I do love the Men in Black attraction, however I'm rubbish at it. I think I got just shy of 19,000 points. Bear in mind the maximum is 999,999, so a fair way away from it, but I enjoyed it. I used the single rider line, which was a complete walk-on, showing a 15-minute wait at the moment, which again also looked to be a walk-on. Bear in mind, a little tip for the single rider line, you will get split up, so do not go in the single rider line if you are hoping to sit together. It won't happen. There's quite a strict policy here at Universal that any single riders will be split up. Though if you're not bothered about being split up from your party for an attraction or two, then absolutely use the single rider line, especially on busy days, because it can save a fair amount of time queuing. That being said, bear in mind that single rider line is not always effective. It tends to work best on attractions where the seating is more than 2 per row. If it's only 2 per row, sometimes the single rider line doesn't work terribly well in your favour. The likes of Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure, or also the Velocicoaster. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Don't expect to be guaranteed much of a shorter wait on the single rider line. It really is your luck. I've made my way round to the New York section of the park, and I'm about to take in the Blues Brothers show. It's just started. You can probably hear it in the background. The Blues Brothers show is a tremendous show here at Universal, so top tip would definitely be to come round and enjoy it. They are brilliant. So I've come out of Universal Studios there, and I'm making my way over to Islands of Adventure. Just a wee point to note, a little tip. I realised just on exiting the park that Universal do have available at the entrance to both parks. You've got locker facilities, you've got wheelchair rentals, electric vehicle rentals, stroller rentals. So if you think any of those might be useful to you, you can get them at the start of either park. The parks are massive. It can be long, warm days in the park, so kind of little ones, or maybe people that don't have great mobility, it might be a wise idea, might be a good tip to rent a stroller or rent a wheelchair or electric vehicle, just to help enjoy the day a little bit better. Give somewhere for the little ones to sleep as well if they get too tired. If you are going to be doing any of the water rides here at Islands of Adventure, my top tip for that would be to wear appropriate footwear. So if you have your standard footwear, which is normally kind of trainers and socks, if you bring with you a small pair, if you bring with you a pair of flip-flops or sliders, or if you naturally wear Crocs to the park, remove your socks and basically you'll dry off a lot quicker. On the water rides you can get very, very wet, and if you're wearing your trainers and socks, you're going to be squelching about for a good while, even if it is a really warm day here in Orlando. The best time to ride these water rides would be in the afternoon. I mean, the queues will be slightly busier, however it will be the warmest point of the day, so if you do get wet to any degree, you'll dry the quickest. And just in case you're thinking, they won't allow you on the ride without footwear to some degree. Barefooted would be an option. Well, barefooted would be a good idea, but you won't be allowed on without some kind of footwear. So a little time has passed and the sun is out in force now. It's another beautiful day here in Orlando. In the end, it was the correct decision not to bring a jacket or a jumper. I would personally be carrying this about at this point in time. However, it's up to you, however you feel best. Some people are still wearing the jumpers because there is a little breeze, but for me it's perfect. So just touching on the weather. In Orlando, the weather can be a bit of a mix. You can get quite bad storms and very wet days. Sometimes the storms do pass very quickly, sometimes they hang around for a while. So bear that in mind because that can impact your day. Some rides will go down in the weather, some rides will go down with the wind, there'll be a delay. Quite a lot of the coasters will not be operational during storms and heavy rain. If that is the case, what often happens is the parks get quieter because people will naturally leave with the bad weather. A little tip is that if you are going to stick around during the bad weather, focus on Universal Studios because that has the most amount of rides that are inside, therefore are not affected by the weather. So with people leaving, queue times will have reduced, and also there are lots of inside rides at Universal Studios. So the tip is, if it rains, head to Studios. Well guys, I have made my way to the park exit, which will bring this video to an end. If you've liked any of it, please consider hitting the like button. It's absolutely free for you to do so, and it really helps out the channel for me. It also sadly brings an end to the vlog series. Today is my last day. I fly home later this afternoon. So in terms of my budget series, I've still got lunch and dinner to go. I'll be having a couple of quick service dinners, I'm sure. I'll add the receipts in here and add them to the running total. Aside from that, the last thing we need to consider in terms of cost is my theme park tickets. Now, how I do it will be slightly different to how some other people may do it. I have an annual pass at Universal here. It cost me $425 plus tax for 12 months. It worked out about £360 sterling. I've been 4 times in those 12 months. I know, very, very lucky to be able to do that. So if you divide the £360 by 4, it's £90 a trip for me for my Universal tickets. As I say, I appreciate if you're only here once, your ticket will be more expensive. There are a few discount codes online you can maybe take advantage of to get cheap tickets. Also, the best time of year to buy discounted tickets or the cheapest rate of ticket is often the Black Friday sales in November, so keep your eyes peeled for that. As always guys, I really hope these videos provide some hints and tips and are useful and beneficial for you. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you've enjoyed sharing the experience with me, I certainly have with you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers now. Bye.